reclaim resources remarkably addresses this global issue. The two main chambers of these waste plants could process about 150,000 tons of rubbish into green energy each year.
This is a totally natural way of disposing of the waste and ending up with a very useful fuel. A lot of countries, UK being one, where it's obligatory to use a percentage of ethanol in your car tank. 5%, 10%, 15%, and this is going up and up and up as the years go on. But alternatively, we can of course make electricity.
As Mr. Hall explains, the Vantage waste processing system seems an intelligent solution to a growing problem. Mr. Hall expresses how important and economically viable it is for all countries to go green.
These plants, they're not actually that immobile, are they? They're quite small and could be built in many areas. So you're looking to get these into developing countries, is that right?
Absolutely. Well, traditionally incineration plants are extremely large and extremely expensive. Ours are very, very small by comparison and of course very inexpensive. We are probably a tenth of the cost of a typical incineration plant. So we have the advantage of mobility. I don't know a country in the world that hasn't got a problem in terms of getting rid of its rubbish. So the application is as true in Kent here as it is anywhere else in the world. Certainly the units are mobile, and our philosophy is we would manufacture in the country of origin. So the people in that country would have a part in building this equipment. We would supply just the technical input. So jobs will be created there. We would produce a useful end product, hopefully electricity. And as I've said before, that can be used for anything. Education, it can be used to feed computers so people can educate themselves a little bit more. And improve their way of life.
It also means that there will be no need to use precious land and water resources to raise crops to convert them into fuel.
Is it an efficient and cost-effective way to produce electricity and biofuels?
It's extremely cost-effective because the raw source of our fuel stock, of course, is rubbish. And rubbish, people actually want to pay to have it taken away. So to all intents and purposes, that's very plentiful and it's free. And as you can see here, the alternative to creating ethanol, of course, is to grow crops. The crops are then fed into, and the ethanol is made as an end product. That's not our way of doing it. We don't have to cut down trees to plant crops. We believe that the crops should be used to feed people rather than feed engines. So our food stock comes from garbage, trash, etc. So given that that is free, the cost of actually producing this is very, very low. There is not a high cost. There is some yeast and some enzymes, but taken quite naturally, it is not an expensive product.
Mr. Philip Hall has also thought of how the disposal system could be placed in a city. It is an alternative to having a large plant to where waste from all over the city is transported.
To process 1 million tons, you have to drag all of that rubbish across the cities in lorries, and we think that just increases the carbon footprint. So it's far better to build a number of smaller plants which can be scattered all the way around a city. They're not intrusive in any way, there are no big chimneys there, they're quite small, and the carbon footprint of course is reduced because you're collecting from a much smaller area.
The Shining World Invention Award was presented to Reclaim Resource in recognition of the company's outstanding green innovation.